Thank you all for being here. Woo-hoo! Let's get psyched. Don't all sound so excited.
Yeah.
Bluetooth hug.
8.
Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D. Hope you're having a fantastic day. This week of October is National Nutrition and Obesity Week here in South Africa. So the significance of what we put into our bodies cannot be overstated enough. It is not only important that we feel good when we're taking in food, but to also be aware of how that food actually affects the vital parts of your body. So in studio today, we are joined by the CEO of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Pamela Naidu. We also chat to dietitian Megan Pence-Kloetz from the Cancer Association of South Africa. She gives us more information on how to tell the difference between processed foods and whole foods and which ones are better for you. Then, of course, our gorgeous Pali's in the kitchen, eh?
Yes, Jeannie, we're whipping it up. As you already stated, this is, of course, the week of October, where we're focusing on all things nutrition, all things healthy eating. So do connect with us on our social media platforms and let us know what a balanced diet consists of. But whilst you're tweeting us and heading over to social media, I'm going to head over to our resident foodie for today. Of course, we've got Uputele. So what do you have up your sleeve for us?
Well, I'm all about celebrating authentically African food. So today we're going to be making umfino, a very beautiful recipe by my grandmother, but we put a little twist.
Okay.
So it went to private school. So yeah, we'll be enjoying that today, and I'll teach you guys how to make it very simple.
I'm looking forward to that. Indeed, umfino takes me back to back in the day. You know,
back at
granny
home.
whipping it up. Oh, I love a good, well-rounded diet. So head over to our social media platforms and let us know what your balanced diet looks like. But for now, over to you, Jeannie.
Now, our next guest gives J-Lo a good run for her money. Katie Mohammed is a seasoned businesswoman, TV personality, and the CEO of Brand Fusion. She has her roots in countless sectors of the media, fashion, and corporate industries. She joins us today to chat about the importance of creating sustainable spaces for women to thrive in today's economy. Hello, Katie.
Hi, Jeannie. It's been a while.
Oh, Katie's known me from when I was 18 years old and I first started in radio because of course, you worked in media all that time.
Yes.
What a journey you have been through in your life. So from being behind the scenes in TV to actually being a TV host to now Brand Fusion. What exactly is Brand Fusion and what got you there?
So it's been a journey, like I said, you know. I started in the media industry from a broadcasting background, of course. Loved radio and then moved on to television and worked for one of the best broadcasters in the world. And I would think that it's like an institution. You come out of a broadcaster, you literally feel that you're alive. You've learned so much. Yeah. And of course, we delivered an amazing 2010 from an SABC perspective. And I thought, where to next? And of course, at that time, it's what can I offer, you know, to myself? And of course, the entrepreneurship bug. You know, sometimes you always believe that entrepreneurship is in your DNA. Yeah. And that happened and created Brand Fusion, marketing and communications. Had the most amazing projects that I've worked on over the years, you know, including having a cooking show and doing all of the stuff that we love. Yeah. And I think the most important thing is just having passion in what you do. Yeah. And when you have passion, it actually comes out.
Yeah, it does.
So, yes.
It is. Katie's been and done everything, including crashing a date that I was on with Trevor Nya.
Do you think we should tell them about that?
No, I'm just teasing, but it was good fun.
Yes.
Something that you're very passionate about, though, and something that you're extremely vocal on is a woman's voice in the workplace. And something that I actually just read this morning is the Forbes US, the 100 most dynamic leaders in business. There was one woman on that list out of 100. What is that kind of sector like in South Africa? Are women not getting ahead as quickly as what we should?
Well, it's a global challenge. Yeah. So whether it's South Africa, whether it's the UK, it's a global challenge. And I think more importantly, what I personally believe that we are backward in South Africa is that as much as we come from an apartheid era, which was, of course, the brown people people having a problem. Now it's the women and the brown girls as well. So for me, I had to look at how do we accelerate this agenda of female equality driving a specific agenda. And I look around and, you know, we look at women in leadership. You know, I went to the President's Summit last year and I looked around, and the 200 women leaders that were there, we knew all of them. It was the same old,
That's not good enough.
It's just not
where's
good
that
enough.
fresh young blood?
So hence, W Suite, which is W for women and W is for we, is how do we come together and create the platforms for women that need the profile? Because, Jeannie, let's be honest, you know, if you're not a TV personality or an influencer these days, people don't know you.
No.
But they're neuroscientists, they're CEOs that people need to know.
But Katie, I want to ask you that because I think a lot of young girls rising up have got the Kardashian effect. They think that by being famous, by being an influencer, by getting the sweet cheeks out on your Insta, then that's going to make you famous. But that, unless you're one in a million, that's not going to give you a seat at the table that's going to make all the decisions in the world. What should these young girls be doing so that they can be in a little bit more influential positions?
I always say your brand is your currency.
Yeah.
So these days, even if you have to go for an interview, people go onto your social media. So what you post on social media is the single most important thing.
Yeah.
So if you're on a journey, you know, with yourself, you need to talk about relevant things. So you want people to take you seriously. So look, from a Kardashian point, you know, it's like you say, 1 in a billion case, and yes, you know, they've done well.
It works for them.
However, what works for us and what works for you as an individual is what makes you stand up. And I think people are getting tired of the normal influencers posting pictures and just, you know, pretty pictures traveling and. Is what is the content that you're giving? What is the message that you want people to know about you? And I think that is the single most important thing about actually from a messaging perspective. And I think as a woman, I look back and I say, how do we, like you said, you know, how do we find a seat at the table for other women? Because most of us have the opportunity to have a seat at the table, but we don't. We have this conversation about PhD, pull her down syndrome, and I'm saying, like, enough's enough. Come, girls, there's enough for all of us. And how do we
So what do we do? What changes?
Well, so for me, it's the most important is creating platforms for dialogue, and it's not really talk shops, because you and I both know is when you're in a space together, you have a conversation, you can actually leave there with saying, I know someone that can help you. So as much as there's a lot of outreach projects and there's a lot of people that are, you know, working on outreach projects, I always believe that people don't worry about a Jeannie and a Katie because they think we're okay.
But we're not always.
We're not okay.
You see, those are the people you must also worry about, so that a Jeannie and a Katie can bring other people
exactly.
as well.
And I think that's the most important thing is W Suite's initiative. It's really how do we create a movement where we go on bringing people along our journey. So whether it's you in agriculture or mining or education or health, is how do we bring each other up and trying to create a strong female economy. Because you and I both know that when we have strong female leaders, we're going to have a great nation.
Amazing. And Katie, I'm on a lot of these business chats and these forums that start on WhatsApp, and then it ends up in dinners, and then it's always men. It is always men. What needs to change in a woman's mind to bring, you know, to lift another woman? Because still, it's men lifting other men, and women are not lifting other women.
Look, it's always the boys' club. We know that. And with due respect to all the men that I know of, I always say that they are our allies. And strategically, and some of them are actually very committed to pull a seat up for you. So I've had the most amazing allies in my journey, and I always say to people around me is that don't see them as the enemy. You know, see them as an ally and say, how would you see me being part of your project? And for me, that's like the most important thing. So I always say, let's not be exclusive. And as women, let us, you know, show the men out there, because I think some of them sit around and say, hey, you girls never get on because you know, you want to be better than the other. And I'm like, no, it's not true, because we have been extremely successful supporting each other.
Katie, I can tell you consistently throughout all the, I mean, we met when I was 18, so it's not a long time. Throughout all those years, if I have to pull up 5 people on one hand who've just been consistently amazing and working hard and creating it and building, it's you. So, well, you're on that hand.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you
and
so
motivating and inspiring all these young women.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you.
Palesa, what's happening in the kitchen, my baby?
My baby, as you have said, we are whipping it up and we are throwing down in the kitchen. But more than ever, we're celebrating all things that are women. We're celebrating inspirational, monumental leaders like Katie. So shout out to you, Katie. And shout out to all the strong, independent women who are making a way and paving it for the rest of us to follow after you. Head over to our social media platforms and let's continue this conversation, as inspiring as it is. But after the break, we meet the CEO of the Heart Foundation. Of course, can't wait to sit with her. Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth, a support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer.
Next time on The Next Brand Ambassador. With the new team leader at the helm, the function takes place.
There's a lot going on.
People seem to be a little bit confused.
It is definitely not expected.
What's happening?
You had one job, Kitty.
In the boardroom, things get heated.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses again and a lot of justifications, but no accountability.
Catch all the drama on The Next Brand Ambassador. Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Repeat Saturdays at 2 p.m. on SABC3. Proudly brought to you by Capitec.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and I trust that you're having a glorious afternoon. This week is National Nutrition and Obesity Week, and Afternoon Express has invited Professor Pamela Naidu, the CEO of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, to the loft so that we can understand why this week is not only important in raising awareness, but also why it's important to take our hearts very seriously. Professor, welcome to the show. Lovely
Thank
to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm taking my heart very seriously.
I can see, and you should take your brain seriously too.
Nobody takes that seriously, but my heart definitely.
No, but Pamela, this is such an incredible topic to speak on right now, because I think a lot of the time there is so much talk about healthy life, holistic living, and of course, raising awareness to the different diseases one can take on. But what exactly does the Heart Foundation do?
Right, great question. So basically, the Heart and Stroke Foundation South Africa is exactly what it is. So we're an advocacy organization, but we also influence health policy. So what do I mean by that? Is we get together with other stakeholders, including the National Department of Health, and we try and influence health policy for treatment, and prevention. Yeah. So, oftentimes government needs assistance for the people from the ground to say, well, actually, these are the issues that you need to be addressing. Yeah. Access to essential medication and so on and so forth. Over and above that, we also have a really great nutrition science department. So we we have the HeartMark program, which is the endorsement that you would see on certain food products. Yeah. So it goes through a whole regulatory framework. So, people don't just buy the logo. Yeah. They go
I was going to ask, how legitimate is it? Yeah. Because a lot of people do say, don't trust this. It's just something that was plastered on.
Yeah. So no, we can't actually put the logo on if government doesn't allow us to, number one. But number two, it also follows the trends of national and international dietary guidelines.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is it true that obesity is a greater problem than world starvation at the moment?
Very interesting question. I would not say that it's a greater problem, but I would say if you just take South Africa as an example, let's just use South Africa as a case example. Obesity is a problem, and it's a sad thing, but it's particularly amongst women. So you've got almost 60% of women in the country who are overweight and obese. But now note that when you're overweight, it doesn't mean you kind of like have all the nutrients that but you're eating too much. Yeah. Actually, you might be undernourished.
Okay.
And so that's a problem.
And then what is the link between obesity and, of course, heart disease?
Right. So it's direct and indirect. So let's just first take the indirect kind of view of it. So if you overweight or obese, the chances of having diabetes type 2 it increases, so the risk increases, and diabetes is a specific driver for cardiovascular disease onset. So the chances of, if you're diabetic, the chances of having heart diseases or strokes is increased.
All right.
Yeah. But so that's the indirect link.
And Pamela, a lot of the time people say that, oh, well, my mom is big boned, my mom is overweight, or my dad is, it runs in the family, therefore it's now an excuse for me to be overweight and obese. And there's sometimes a link between heart disease and stroke as well, where people feel like it's hereditary, I'm the victim here. But a lot of the time I feel like, how does lifestyle play a part?
Yeah, that's a great question. So perhaps on a positive note, because it sounds like everything's so gloom and doom, but on a positive note, that your genetic predisposition is only 20% of your risk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you have a familial history, I'm not saying that your risk is increased, but if you follow a proper, lifestyle is like too much of a common term. So it's really about healthy behaviors.
Okay.
So if you check your blood pressure, if you tobacco smoking is a complete no-no because it kills you. Yeah. It blocks your arteries. It causes you to have a stroke. It's horrible. Yeah. Tobacco smoking. Yeah. So that's out. Excessive alcohol use, leads to abuse. So that's also not good. But then you need to also check your cholesterol levels, for example. Now, if your risk profile is increased, then you should be exercising more, and that's not an expensive outfit to the gym.
Really?
Where you're competing with everybody else. You just have to keep moving.
I thought I was nailing it.
No, you just have to
I would have won if that was the case.
Just make sure your steps are, you increase your your physical activity every day, and that's your winner.
Because there's a big
yeah.
difference between body fat and visceral fat. What are those? Because visceral fat is also what causes strokes and heart attacks.
A brilliant question, and I tell you that's so important because so globally we use body mass index as the key indicator for whether you're overweight or obese, or you're normal or underweight, or whatever the case might be. But that's only because that's a way to compare country on country.
Okay.
But so there's a big controversy happening at the moment that for South Africa that's not an adequate measure. So we look at height-waist ratio, you know, belly fat, all of that stuff. And then there's a particular way to calculate it. And so you really should not be having too much weight around because your belly fat increases your risk for heart disease and strokes as well.
Ouch.
Yeah, because it causes the heart to work a bit harder, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Yeah.
So what are tips that people can take to make sure that, or if you think that you are having a stroke, what can you do?
Yes. So you would know it. So the thing about it is the people around you need to be aware.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. We have an acronym FAST. So F is for face. So usually your stroke is one-sided, right? It's either the right or the left. So if you find that somebody's face is drooping, like half the face is literally drooping, so then you have to suspect. The arms, so if you pick somebody's arm up and it sort of voluntarily flops down, so that's your arms. And then your speech, if it's slurred. And then the T is for being timeous. So if you're around someone who you suspect, you know what, this person might be having a stroke, the key is to get that person to the hospital, emergency care, as quickly as possible. And you can actually reverse the damage, you know, or you can minimize the damage.
That's good to know.
The longer the time...
And that's such a brilliant point to end off on, because you have to act fast.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming through. Thank you so much,
It's my pleasure.
We've learned so much, and I think that every viewer at home out there is definitely more aware of what they should look out for. Now make sure you stay tuned, because after the break, we make a nutritious bone marrow and imfino recipe with Chef Putzeletso. See you after the break.
It's time to shine with Big Soleil razors. You can win one of 5 Big Soleil Shine Essential Packs worth 5,000 Rand. Check out Big Soleil on Facebook and at @big_SA on Instagram, and complete the weekly self-care challenges to enter. For your chance at one of those 5,000 Rand prizes, get your shine with Big Soleil. Competition closes October the 31st. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So it's time now for our self-care series brought to you by Big Soleil. Now, there are plenty of skin routines to ensure that you have ever glowing and sun-kissed skin, and with varying skin types and different routines, some work better with others and some not so much. So lifestyle influencer Zuki Lamani has found her working formula in face scrubs, and she's here to tell us all about it. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, and how are you?
Fabulous. Lovely to see you again.
Good to have you.
So face scrubs is what you owe your ever flawless skin to. So tell us a little bit about your routine.
So basically, my personal skincare routine is not really hectic. There's not much that I do. I started applying face scrubs when I started applying makeup regularly, because I believe that makeup leaves residue in your skin that sometimes can't be wiped away by just using wipes or normal soaps. So I believe that going into deeper with taking care of your skin, like using home scrubs, because that's what I use, is pretty much was a good choice for me.
I was going to ask, store-bought scrubs or home scrubs, and then what are your favorite recipes for your homes?
Well, I have used chemical-infused face scrubs, which are scrubs that are...
Is that what you buy in the store?
Yeah, that's
what does that
buy.
do? Does that do a peel at the same time?
Well, you get different ones. So you get ones where you put it on your hand and then you scrub normally. You get ones that are masks. Like, there are very different ones. Well, I prefer face scrubs that you make at your own house. So I basically use the brown sugar and honey mask, which is perfect for me. Do you want me to tell you more about how it is? So basically, you take 1 spoon of brown sugar and you take 1 spoon of honey, and then you put it in a small clean tub, and then I put in a bit of olive oil as well, and then I would apply it in outwards circular motion onto my skin for a good, 5 to 10 minutes, and then for the rest of the 5 minutes I would...
Face and body?
No, just my face.
Just your face.
My face I go in with just normal soap,
All right.
Yeah, and I prefer the brown sugar one and the honey one, because I believe that brown sugar is, as opposed to normal sugar, has smaller particles, so it's gentler and softer for skin, and it's also a really great exfoliator. Amazing. And then you get your honey, which honey is an antioxidant and also an antibiotic. So mixed together with a bit of olive oil is perfect for skin.
Yeah, also good for you. Natural products, of course. So now, how often can you do this? And, like, is there a thing where you can kind of exfoliate too much?
Yeah, well, I do mine. I scrub my face at least twice a week. So it's like 30 minutes out of, I don't know how many hours they are in a week. So it's like, so I would scrub like probably like Wednesday and Saturday, like random days. And then sometimes people have this weird notion that when a scrub is hurting, then it's probably working. Like,
I'm one of those.
No,
not on my face, but on my body. On I do hardcore body exfoliation.
Yeah, no, sometimes it might be working, but for like other times it's actually doing the opposite job. So it's
especially
damaging
on your face.
Yeah, especially on your face. Yeah, it's damaging your skin. So it's good to swatch and probably try it on your body and see if it's working. If you like experience like tingliness or discomfort or redness, then you'd probably have to discontinue it and try.
What will happen on your face if you exfoliate too much?
Well, if you do exfoliate too much, it will do the opposite job, as I've said. So it will ruin your skin and damage your skin instead of helping it. Because scrubbing is a form of exfoliation, so it's really good for exfoliating your skin, not to actually damage. So if you see that there's redness, so it's your skin is reacting to it, then it means that it's not good for your skin.
And I heard that actually if you over exfoliate, it also like stimulates oil stimulation, so then you actually will get too shiny and too oily on your face, and then that obviously results in breakouts.
Exactly. So it's very like because there are different skin types. So I've got dry skin, some other people have got oily skin, some other people have combination skin, some other people have sensitive skin. So it's very good to like first try out the scrub on your body, like a small part of your body, try to see if it's going to work, and then probably try on your, like how you would try makeup. You know how you try different foundations, so you would try brown here, try another color here, is how you would basically also test the scrub.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us. I love talking self-care. It's literally my favorite topic ever.
I do a lot of makeup, so I need it.
No, it's true. And never ever go to sleep with makeup on.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Wipe it off, wash how you wash your face normally, scrub if you want to.
Yeah, look after your skin. It's the biggest organ you have.
Yeah.
So with all of that said and done, what's left now for you to do is literally scrub your way through your local leading retailers where you can find Bic Soleil disposable razors and secure that effortless glow. It's time to shine, and it's your time to shine.
Make this summer your time to shine with Bic Soleil.
So, do you want to be the new resident chef on SABC3's Afternoon Express? Well, you are in for luck because the Tastemaster SA competition is finally here. So, for a chance to join me, Jeannie D, and Cute Palesa in the kitchen for a good time, enter as quick as possible.
Absolutely. Now, it's so simple. All you have to do is record yourself and tell us why you are the perfect Tastemaster. Upload the video on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag #TheTastemasterSA for a chance to join the Afternoon Express family. Who knows, you might be cooking along with us soon.
Can't wait.
Do you have a knack for creating special occasions? Would you like to be the resident foodie on Afternoon Express? Then enter the Tastemaster SA on SABC3. Record a video of yourself telling us why you would be perfect for this role. Upload it on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag #TheTastemasterSA and hashtag #StartWithAstella. The closing date for entries is midnight on Tuesday, the 22nd of October, 2019. The search will take place on the new reality show, The Tastemaster SA, which starts on SABC3 in November. The finalists will be lucky enough to experience a true Christmas market in Belgium, which will be their inspiration for the final challenge. Enter now for the opportunity of a lifetime.
Can you handle the heat in this kitchen? We want you to enter. Now, tasty and easy to make bone marrow and umfino proves a good family meal does not have to break the bank. This budget-friendly dish will be ready in just minutes, saving you time and, of course, those few pennies. So to get this recipe, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. SMSs are charged at R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. So as we've told you at the beginning of the show, we're making something very local, lekker, Mzansified, but of course we're sprucing it up in the best way possible.
Yes.
What's the first step?
Right, so today we are going to start off with, you need to have your water to the boil, right? Once you do that, you'll just add your salt and pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't burn yourself, I got you.
So we'll just add our salt and pepper, and I need you to help me here.
Okay.
Right.
So whilst I season, what other ingredients do we need for the recipe?
So we need salt and pepper. We need Clover fresh cream. We'll start with this.
Oh, okay. So we're starting with the cream and putting it in the pot.
This is just because remember, umfino is very, you can taste the grains. So this is just to make it smoother.
Okay.
So you just add that, and you can gradually add this as well.
Okay. Can I tell you a secret? Hey, I'm kind of nervous to say it, but I think I am the one South African girl who does not know how to make
You must be joking. You must be joking.
I am not lying. I've tried it so many times. I've tried so many times, time and time again. But it's like a workout. You know when it starts to stiffen, stiff papa. Then the arm work needs to go in, and that's when I give up.
Play with it. Add some water. Add something. So while you do that, I'm going to be chopping up the spinach, right?
Okay.
Because we need this too. So I'll just add the spinach, but you can also add wild pumpkin leaves. You can add cabbage.
Okay.
Just because it's a very nutritious dish, and the greens are obviously going to assist you to add more nutrition to the dish.
Is there any tip or trick that one can use to make sure that stiff papa sako does not come out lumpy?
So what I do, obviously you must use that whisk. And what else you can add is butter. You don't have to add the fresh cream. It's just because some people are lactose intolerant, right? So you can just add, you can add butter as well. It makes it more creamy and helps with all those lumps, you know?
Yes.
So you don't have any of those.
Of course. I mean, everyone at home, please help me help out your girl Bali here in the kitchen. If you've got any tips and tricks how to make the perfect pap, what you add. I know some people add cream, sweet corn corn, abanye, they add some cheese.
You can just jazz it up.
You jazz it up, basically. Let us know on our social media platforms. You can tweet us at Afternoon Chat using our hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. I hope my mom is not watching because she will be devastated. Okay, so
what else I'll do is that this is a great product. It's a great product because you can use it on high heat as well, unlike other products. And you like if you are frying some stuff, it's got that horrible smell.
Yes.
On high heat, there's none of that. It's
no
perfect.
fragrance in the kitchen that will leave it a bit off. Okay, love that. So should we add that
so
in
you
and
leave
keep going?
No, you leave this for 15 minutes, and once it's done, then you add your
Umfin,
the spinach, and then you can keep at it with this.
Okay, stunning. So let's move on to the next stage because I want our viewers to get absolutely every single tip and trick that you've got.
So now for the bone marrow, you add a bit of oil. Right, you add your peppers, and then you add some
spring onion.
Spring onion as well.
Okay, stunning. How long does bone marrow have to work?
Look,
sorry to interrupt. I remember there was this one time Jeannie was doing a bone marrow broth kind of diet, and apparently it's so healthy, so nutritious for you. So what is it in that bone marrow has that other meats or parts of the meat don't have?
The collagen, and it's very good for your skin. It's very good for your skin.
Speaking of skin,
so ladies,
I love that.
And then add some salt and pepper as well, and add that.
Okay.
And we'll just leave this for a few minutes. Remember, it's very tender, so you can't leave it for long because it's very tender. You don't want to overcook it.
Okay.
So you leave that for a few minutes. And once that is done,
it comes out looking so delicious.
Looking like magic.
Absolute magic. Look at that. Look, I would love to take all of the awards for this, but this is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, well, of course you have to watch your figure, but there's something about hearty meals that families just enjoy, that you have to throw the figure out the window every now and again and just enjoy along with everyone else.
So
and this is the bone marrow.
Plate it up, and you add your bone marrow.
Okay. Stunning. Is there a specific way to enjoy bone marrow and eat it? And can you just go in with your fingers and get all that?
All in. I say use your fingers, go all in and do your thing.
Do your thing. This sounds so good. This looks good. And it was done in 2 seconds. Now remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe. But here's a quick recap in case you've missed any of the steps.
Made with love by Clover. Olive Pride brings a touch of pride and the natural beauty of olive oil to your table. Made with love by Clover.
So you should enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao if you are looking for fame and fortune. You could quite literally be selected as one of the 6 contestants going to Curacao in the Caribbean, featured on the TV series. Plus stand a chance of winning a shared R1 million with a celebrity partner. Now stand a chance of winning a shared R1 million with a celebrity partner.
I can't wait. Look, Jeannie, it was so good. You got to say it twice, girl. All that ching. I wish I could join. Now, look, all you have to do is WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to 063-921-8395 for audition details. Remember to buy Tropica to stand a chance, or rather to get the details to stand a chance of winning hundreds and thousands of prizes. It could be you winning Tropica Island of Treasure. So SMS TIOT9 now to 063-921-8395 for those audition details. But do remember, T's and C's apply, and more information can be found on tropica.co.za.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you can win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then, load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063 921 8395. And it could be you winning a share of 1 million rand plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
So anyone who knows me knows that I'm a little bit obsessed with all things fashion, and that's why I have teamed up with Gumtree on their Restyle campaign, which is in collaboration with local designer Amanda Cherry, who is amazing, and she's creating an entire range of garments made from clothing sourced on Gumtree, secondhand stuff. Now, the collection will be featured at SA Fashion Week in Sandton on the 25th of October, and one of you could be joining me front row to experience all the magic. So to enter, all you need to do is go onto gumtree.co.za and find, buy or sell an item of clothing on Gumtree and comment the link in the comment section of my competition post on Instagram. To find the post, simply look for the Restyle tag. It's literally, I'm wearing like a little orange dress, and leave your comment there. And I can't wait to see all of the amazing things that you find and sell. Happy shopping, and I can't wait to see you at Fashion Week. Join us after the break for some tips on beneficial whole foods for your health.
welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, in light of both National Nutrition Week and, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's extremely important to, of course, cognise what you put into your body.
So joining us to give practical tips is dietitian Megan Pence-Clates, who is a spokesperson for the Cancer Association of South Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So this year's awareness week, I suppose, is whole foods and eating whole foods. Tell us a little bit more about this theme and why it was chosen.
Okay, great. So what we know about whole foods, and just that people understand it really, is that it's looking at minimally refined. So in other words, all you're really going to do is remove the inedible part of that food, particularly plant foods. So we're talking legumes, we're talking fruit and vegetables, and that is really, and if we're going to process, we're going to minimally process like oats, for example, or rice, where you haven't added any sugars, you haven't chosen to add any fats, etc. And the reasoning behind this is we know that this is actually, these foods help to reduce non-communicable diseases such as, heart disease, cancers, etc. And of course, very importantly, they help to maintain your weight. So if you're looking at all those types of factors, there's a reason behind actually making sure that that's the majority of your diet.
That's so interesting to me. I never knew that there was a difference between processed foods and ultra-processed foods. I mean, what is that significant difference?
Okay, so if we're looking at processed foods to start with, so processed foods, and if you're looking at a label or anything, we've really only added up to about 3 ingredients. So that's a good way to see processing. So processing usually adds a little bit of convenience, gives a bit of more palatability. Something would be an example like maybe your legumes that you find in a tin, for example, where they've added in brine. So they've added in a little bit of salt or maybe a little bit of sugar to change it slightly and add to that convenience. Okay, but when you're looking at ultra-processed, what they've done is they've actually changed it totally. So you don't even know really what the original food looked like necessarily. So they've stripped it, so you've taken away a lot of nutrients, and then they've added in a lot of flavors. They've added in more than 5 ingredients. So you're looking at extra fat, for example, additional sugar, added in oils, and then, of course, additives and preservatives, etc. So then you're going to foods that incorporate from, cold drinks, for example. You're looking at your packaged foods, so your processed type meats. You're looking at biscuits and confectionery and pastries, etc. So those are the ones that we really need to reduce, and has been linked actually to an increase of disease and illness.
So it's been proven that all of eating those bad foods will make you sick, but also eating the right foods will make you better. But how does someone with, let's say, breast cancer specifically, how do they realistically work in a healthy diet into their lifestyles?
Okay, then that's really relevant. So the one thing that you want to always look at is where they are, at with their journey. So if they're undergoing treatment, very often we really do have to individualize it, because there sometimes are side effects and symptoms that they experience. And the most important thing you're wanting to ensure is an adequate energy intake and adequate nutrient intake. So the choices of whole foods will definitely always stand first, but in some instances you might have to add in additional foods, like we would change it if they have problems with taste, for example. Add in smoothies that you will still have your whole fruits in there, you might have your nuts, etc. So it'll all be added, but it'll be a much more easier way in which to actually consume it.
Where are superfoods in this, especially those packaged superfoods?
Okay, so superfoods is really just a jargon. It's a word.
I didn't want to hear that.
But there are foods that have fabulous nutrients.
Because you get all those powdered things and it's superfoods or whatever.
So no, they do add a lot of nutritional value, so you can definitely have them. But the word
all's not lost. Well, I guess that's me throwing out everything in my fridge and restocking with whole foods.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
On a hot summer's night, you might be desperate for a good night's sleep. But this could be difficult, particularly if you've got a loud and noisy fan next to you. Now, you might even consider buying an air conditioner, but you might be worried as well, of course, that noisy intruding into your sleep.
What if the loud and noisy fan is good looking? So LG's Artcool range of air conditioners brings the best of both worlds together. Using inverter technology, this amazing range not only cools down a room in a snap, but can also use electricity and operate in near silence. So if you're ready for a good night's sleep or just want to enjoy a cool room in your home in maximum comfort, then look no further. LG's Artcool range is a perfect option for you. All right, so enter the Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao. If you are looking for fame and fortune, baby, you could be selected as one of the 6 contestants going to Curacao in the Caribbean, featured on the TV series. Plus, stand a chance of winning a shared R1 million with a celebrity partner. R1 million.
That is so much money. I could definitely do with $1 million. Now all you have to do is WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to 063-921-8395 for all those audition details. And remember to buy Tropica for details to stand a chance of winning hundreds and thousands of prizes. It could be you winning Tropica Island of Treasure. So SMS TIOT9 now to 063-921-8395 for audition details. T's and C's and more information can be found, of course, on tropica.co.za. Now, after the break, we bring back all of our amazing guests to wrap up the chat, so do not miss out.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then, load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of R1 million plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
Join former Miss World Dr. Raleen Strauss and the ever so suave Nico Panaggio as they host this year's Pink Polo presented by Biomedical Emporium on the 9th of November at Valdivia Estate. With proceeds going to breast cancer awareness, be part of SA's Who's Who saying hello to summer with a day of polo, fashion, sunshine and celebrity in the winelands at the Pink Polo presented by Biomedical Emporium.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. And of course, today we're discussing literally one of my favorite topics, which is health and wellness and eating to support your wellness. But then we've got the pure example of it all here, like art imitating life. And Katie is turning 50 years old. I mean, she looks 12.
First of all,
So it's all of that. It's the health.
So we want to know, is your diet that good?
Not really.
Do you exercise and look after yourself?
It's lots of turmeric, and it's brown girl magic.
Okay.
yeah.
Lots of brown girl magic.
Well, I guess that is inherited, but it's something that, as we said, is definitely introducing healthier living, of course, is what we eat. I mean, very, very shortly, what is the easiest way to implement easy and good living, good food, whole foods, and the whole thing?
Well, if I could just say, I would actually suggest it's what you bring into your home.
Yeah.
Make sure what you put in your trolley is where you make your decision.
How do you make it sustainable, though? Because I can do it like I'm on it now. I'm on the biggest health kick ever. Amazing for 2 weeks. And then I go to a restaurant and then it's ruined.
You can have the odd treat.
Okay.
You can, so don't deny yourself that.
Okay.
But try to make it about a choice about 80 to 90% of the time that what goes into your home are the whole foods.
I mean, Zuki, your skin is glowing. How much water do you drink a day, do you think?
I'm going to be honest, I don't drink that much, but I drink a lot of water.
Wow.
Well, enough. So 8 liters of water a week is fine for me.
Wow.
Not a day, a week.
Okay,
So,
all right. What's the best tip to keep our heart healthy?
The best
Stay away
tip
from
is
schmucks.
if you're a
KO, I'm gone.
if you're a smoker, just give up tobacco smoking. It kills you in every way.
It really is that bad.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
Tobacco smoke is now completely illegal, I think, in California.
Yeah.
You can smoke weed, but you can't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. And then take a couple more steps every day.
Yeah.
That would be my...
Have you seen how the steps we take? Honey, we never die. You're forever young.
It's more like a few short runs every day.
Yeah. Keeps us young, keeps us healthy. Thank you so much, ladies. What a fantastic panel of experts that we have today. It was a really fantastic show. Such a pleasure having you here. So tomorrow it is a performance art showcase with Luke Rudman, which is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. But for now, good night and God bless from us here at Afternoon Express to all you viewers at home. Bye. Good night.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.